Hello students, in the previous class we have seen the different applications of op-amp and IC555. Okay, so we have seen the op-amp as integrator, op-amp as a differentiator, on-off controller with the help of comparator, or we can just call it as a Smith trigger. In this lecture we are going to study the function generator. Okay, so the target of this lecture is to study the function generator circuit. Now what is function generator? A function generator is a signal source that has a capability to producing different types of waveform at its output signal. So basically function generator is a device whose input is one fixed quantity and it is having multiple different outputs. So which kind of output it is going to produce? It is going to produce different functions. Suppose it is producing sine wave here, it is producing triangular wave here, it is producing square wave here. So this is what we can call a function generator. It is a device which is able to produce different types of functions at its output. Okay, so the advantage of function generator over a sine wave oscillator is its flexibility to create a non-sine shapes. What is sine wave oscillator? It is a device which is able to produce the sine wave only. Now, what is the advantage of function generator over sine wave oscillator? In case of sine wave oscillator, we can produce only and only sine wave. But in case of function generator, we can produce a multiple of waveform. For example, sine wave, triangular wave, square wave, pulses. Multiple of such functions we can produce with the help of function generator. So this is what is the basic advantage of function generator over a sine wave oscillator. Right. Actually, the function generator are very versatile instruments as they can capable of producing a variety of waveforms at its output. Okay, the variety of waveforms is also huge as well as the number of frequencies. Like it is going to make you, it is going to produce the frequencies of very low. It is going to produce the output waveform of very low frequencies up to the very high frequency. Now, which different kind of waveform we can see with the help of function generator? The first one is your sine wave. It is a continuous analog signal, right? Up next we have second a square wave. Square wave is what? It is a on and off period of time. Okay, here on time is equal to off time. That is duty cycle is about 50% in case of square wave, right? Next thing is we have is pulses. Okay, now in case of pulses is quite similar to your square wave waveform, but in case of square wave, we have 50% duty cycle. What is 50% duty cycle? On time, which is equal to off time. Okay, but in case of pulses, on time is not equal to off time. That is why it is called as a pulses. On time is very less as compared to off time. Correct. Now, what is on time and off time? This high portion is nothing but your 1. 1 means on, and this portion is your 0. 0 means low or off. Okay. Next up, we have a triangular wave: rising edge, falling edge, rising edge, falling edge, rising edge, falling edge. So that is what is your triangular waveform. We have seen one application of op amp in which if we apply a signal to the operational amplifier, it is going to produce a triangular waveform, and that function was op amp as an integrator. Correct. After that, there is a sawtooth wave. What is sawtooth wave? There is a rising edge. Okay, it is like logically exponentially rising age and all of sudden decrease in the falling age. Okay, so basically what you can say, sawtooth wave is like rise, exponential increase, sudden decrease, exponential increase, sudden decrease, exponential increase, sudden decrease. So this is what is called as a sawtooth waveform. Okay, now we would like to see the working of function generator, how the function generator actually work, how it is able to produce multiple of waveforms. Okay, so working and block diagram of function generator we are going to study. This instrument provides the different types of waveforms such as sinusoidal, triangular, square, sawtooth, etc. as the output signal with the frequency range from zero point 0.0 Hz to 100 kilohertz. As we can see, the range which is provided by the function generator is very high. It is from 0.01 to 100 kilohertz. Now, this is what is the block diagram of your function generator. This block diagram is expanded over here. See, this is nothing but your frequency control network. Okay, this frequency control network is going to produce the, or it is going to control the frequency. Correct. Suppose at output I want 10 kilohertz of sine wave, then this frequency 10 kilohertz is adjust or controlled by this frequency network control. How it is going to control that frequency? With the help of this potentiometer. Okay, this is a variable resistor whose value will be controlled by the frequency control network. Correct. Now the output of this frequency control network is given to the constant current source supply 1, constant current supply source 2. Now, as we can see, this is nothing but your integrator circuit. Why to call this circuit as an integrator? Because in feedback we have a capacitor. If in feedback if there is a resistor, then we can just call it as a differentiator. But whenever there is a capacitor in feedback, we will just call that circuit as a integrator circuit. Correct. Now what is the role of this constant current supply source? One, that it is going to provide the sufficient voltage for the rising edge of your triangular wave. Okay, so whatever the signal you are going to produce with the help of integrator, that is your triangular wave. Correct. And in case of triangular wave, there are two types of waveform, two types of edges, rising edge and falling edge. So current supply source one will do what? It will supplies a constant current to the integrator whose output voltage rises linearly with time. Correct. And what is the role of constant current supply source 2? What it is going to do? It is going to provide the reverse current to the integrator, so that what will happen? Its output drops linearly with time. Here, this constant current supply source provide voltage to the integrator for increasing in the the voltage, because the voltage rises linearly with respect to time, and this constant current source 2 will supply a reverse current so that its voltage will linearly decrease with respect to the time. After that, we have a capacitor in feedback. What does that indicate? Again, we have a integrator circuit. Then output of this integrator circuit is triangular wave. We have studied this op-amp as an integrator, in which we have studied the output of integrator circuit is a triangular wave, so that you can just easily say this output is connected to the triangular wave, right? So at this point you will get a triangular wave, correct, of whatever frequency you have selected at the input, right? Up next, we have a voltage comparator and multivibrator. Now, what is the function of voltage comparator and multivibrator? It is going to produce the square wave waveform with the help of the triangular wave. See, the output of integrator, which is triangular wave, is connected to the voltage comparator or multivibrator. What this circuit will do? This circuit will convert that triangular wave into its equivalent square wave output. There is an output amplifier. Now what is the need of amplifier over here? The basic function of amplifier is to amplify the signal. Correct. Whatever the output we are going to get at this point, that voltage or that signal will get amplified with the help of this output amplifier 1, and the output will be produced at this position. Correct. Now again, the triangular wave is connected to the resistance diode shaping circuit. Now the function of diode shaping circuit is to provide the shape to the triangular waveform. This circuit will do what? It will convert the triangular wave into its equivalent sine wave output. Now how it is going to do it? The output of triangular wave is the output of integrator is a triangular wave whose frequency is dependent on the current supplied by the constant current supply source. So we have seen how the frequency is dependent on the supply sources 1 and 2. The comparator output provides a square wave of some frequency as the output. The resistance diode network will do what? See here, the resistance diode shaping network we have at this point. What this network is going to do? It is going to shape the triangular wave. It is going to shape the amplitude of triangular wave, and it produces a sine wave with less than 1% of distortion. Distortion is what? Complexity or like change in the input waveform. That change will be of only 1%. Correct. So this is how the working of function generator is. After that, see, we have seen this working of function generator. The explanation is given here. If you want, you can just go through it. Next up, the other controls on the function generator. On the function generator screen, there are multiple other controls are also present. The first point is the frequency. As would be expected, this control alters the basic frequency at which the waveform repeats. Now, what is frequency? A particular range over which your waveform is going to repeat itself. Correct. So that is nothing but your frequency. Next one is the waveform type. So you have to select which kind of wave you wanted at the output. See here, there is a switch provided in this diagram. See, there is one switch, there is a second switch. If you want a square wave output, then you will just connect this switch. Once this switch is connected, these two will get turned off. Correct. Output of integrator circuit is connected directly to the output. And here we are going to get a triangular waveform. And the last thing we have, there is another switch. If you connect this switch, what is going to happen? The sine wave will be produced at the output. Correct. So depending on the selection of switch, your output waveform is going to get selected. Next up, see, output waveform. This enables a different basic waveform. The types are sine, square and triangular. The next thing we have a DC offset. What is DC offset? This DC offset alters the average voltage of a signal relative to the 0 volt or ground. So we have to select the input as 0. When we have input is equal to 0, at that period of time, your output should also be equal to 0. Correct. And that will be set by the DC offset. Now, duty cycle. I have already told you what is duty cycle. Here, on time and off time. Okay, so T on I will consider the on time, T off I will consider the off time. T on divided by T on plus T off, that is T on divided by total time into 100, that will be your duty cycle. Correct. So that duty cycle is another function provided by the function generator. The next thing we have is a pulse width modulation generator. So if we are able to modulate if you are able to adjust the width of your pulse, then it is very interesting thing. And how we are going to manage the width of the pulse? With the help of pulse width modulation generator. What this circuit is going to do? This method of changing the duration of pulse with respect to the analog input, whatever analog input you have provided to your op amp, with respect to that analog input, the duration of your pulse is going to change. The duty cycle of square wave is modulated to encode a specific analog signal level. Okay, this pulse width modulation tutorial gives you the basic principle of generation of PWM signal. Like pulse width modulation will be abbreviated as PWM now words. The PWM signal is digital because at any given instant of time, the full DC supply is either on or off completely. Now, see, whenever we are applying a pulse width modulated signal, we have either totally on signal or totally off signal. Correct, because in case of DC, we have only two values, 0 and 1. 0 means completely off, 1 means completely on. Correct. So PWM method is commonly used for a speed controlling of fans. See, the very basic example of this is a fan regulator, which everybody have in their houses. How that fan is going to control its speed? Because we rotate the rotor, which is present on your MACP board, and we are going to change the number of revolutions of the fan. Similarly, we can just use this for the controlling fans, motors, lights in varying intensity, pulse width modulation controller, etc. These signals may also be used for the approximation time varying of the analog signals. Now we'll understand what is this concept in detail. This figure 2.30 shows you the pulse width modulation circuit diagram. This is nothing but your simple op amp. It has two terminal, positive and negative. Positive terminal is also called as a non-inverting terminal. Negative terminal is also called as an inverting terminal. Correct. Pin number 7 and 4 have supply plus VCC minus VCC. Pin number 6 we are going to get output at pin 6. Correct. Now this input, these are the inputs which we are going to apply to the non-inverting terminal, sorry, inverting terminal, and to the non-inverting terminal we are going to apply a sinusoidal waveform. Correct. Now what is going to happen? See, working. In this circuit, the op amp acts as a comparator. Now we have already studied what is comparator. Comparator is going to do what? As its name indicate, it is going to compare the two things. Now which two things it have over here? There are two different signals. One signal is sine wave, another signal is triangular wave. So this comparator is going to compare this sine wave with the triangular wave. Okay. The As we can see, like this is not a triangular wave, this is a sawtooth wave. Okay, in sawtooth wave we have a logarithmically increasing age and sudden falling down age. Logarithmically increase and sudden fall age. Right. Next up, in the circuit, op amp act as a comparator. It compares both the input voltages, that is sawtooth waveform, and the message signal. This is nothing but your message signal. We have message signal in the form of sine wave. Correct. So this message signal is going to get compared with the sawtooth waveform. The duration for which the instantaneous value of sine wave is above the sawtooth wave, the op amp switches plus VCC, since the sine wave output is connected to the non-inverting input of the op amp. Now see, if the value of this voltage is greater, then your supply is positive. Once this value becomes less than the another input, the output is going to get converted to the minus VCC. Correct. Also, see, till now we have studied the whenever this non-inverting terminal input voltage is higher, then the output of your op amp is positive. Correct, because this is a positive signal. Whenever your plus is greater than minus, that is input at positive terminal is greater than input at negative terminal, your output is positive. Okay, this is your first case. In case of second, what is going to happen? Second case we have as input at negative terminal is greater than input at positive terminal, in that case your output is negative. What is negative? That means minus VCC. What is positive? It is plus VCC. Okay, so at the output you will get such kind of waveform. Here we have a pulses. Again, we have a sine wave, we have a sawtooth wave. So this is nothing but the final output waveform which we can achieve with the help of PWM. Okay, so this is for all now. We'll discuss the remaining things in the next lecture.